Welcome to another episode of the TUE Review. This week we are checking out Maibock. This is from Blind Pig Brewpub out of Champaign, Illinois. So Maibock or Hellesbox. Mai is German for May, and Bock is German for goat. So although no goats were harmed in the making of this beer, nor pigs, because this is Blind Pig Brewpub. So Maibock is a spring malty beer style that kind of mimics the more traditional Bock beer, which tends to use caramel and darker malts. But this has lighter malts. But so you've got more of a gold color to the beer as opposed to a deep brown, but you do definitely get those rich, sweet, malty notes. So it's kind of like a Bock light in terms of both color and flavor, but it's still a very malt forward beer. So we'll go ahead and check this out. We're in this 16 ounce can, and when I did pick this up, because we are in the midst of winter and this is more of a spring seasonal, so I hesitated because I'm like, oh boy, this may have been sitting on the shelf for several months, but I did actually look up the site real quick, and they actually make this beer year round. So this is actually relatively fresh, or at least I hope it is. I didn't see any canned on dates or anything like that on here. So I'm hoping that this is a fresh example of this beer. As I said, 16 ounce can. Keep it cold, drink it fresh, word to the wise. We've got kind of a combination of a pig/goat there on the front, which should be very apropos both for the beer style and the brew pub from whence it came. And there's your craft beer logo. I don't really see any other relative information to the beer on the can. So let's go ahead and see what's inside the can. And there is that kind of classic deep gold color. As I said, if we had a traditional Bock, we definitely get a darker color. But because this avoids the use of dark malts, you get this nice kind of really deep gold color. I really like that, the depth of that color. You see some of the nucleation of the CO2. You've got a really foamy, rich, kind of a really light amber off-white head that's got some good staying power to it. Oh yeah, and there's kind of those aromatics. I'd almost call it like a light brown sugar type of aromatic. And you're getting little hits of toasted bread in there as well in the nose. Very on point. Cheers. Yeah, this thing's a malt bomb, as it should be. Sweet flavor profile. Again, getting a little bit of a toasted breadiness in there as well. But now, boy, in the back of the palate, I really all of a sudden get a pretty good hit of hops. So let me take another dive into this. Yeah, back of the palate, boy, I'm really the hops are really going off on this beer. It's not strong. It's still, this is a malt forward beer, but relative to the style, it's got some really big spikes of hops. But it's a clean hop profile. So they definitely I'm guessing they use more of a German style hop with this. It's not the fruity, resiny, a West Coast style hops. So it's a clean hop, but it's definitely got a bite to it. Body wise, I'd say medium body. It does have a bit of crispness because this is a lager style, so it should have kind of a crisp finish. But that hops definitely lingers in the finish. So overall, I think it maybe lacks a little bit of the depth of sweetness. In the Bock beer style, you want something called the melanoidins, which is through the process of them mashing and extracting the sugars out of the grains. You get this complex sugar called melanoidin that adds a real depth of sweetness to the Bock beer style. It doesn't quite have that, and it's a little heavy-handed in the hops, but I am getting all the baseline elements there. You are getting some rich maltiness, you're getting some toastiness, you're getting the flavors are clean, and it does have a relatively crisp finish like a lager should. So very enjoyable beer. Maybe a little off little left to center of the style guideline, kind of a U.S. interpretation of a German beer style, which is very common here with U.S. Made beers, but very tasty nonetheless. So if you get a chance and you're downstate, check out this beer. This is Maibock from Blind Pig Brewpub. Prost.